That's logical. What about tabling a motion?
Laying a motion on the table, or tabling the motion, is one of several types of subsidiary motions. Tabling a motion is probably the most misunderstood and most misused of all of them. Let's look at each of them. The first one is simply postponing consideration. If the members aren't ready to consider a proposal, someone can move to postpone the discussion indefinitely. In effect, adopting a motion to postpone indefinitely kills the main motion. A motion to postpone indefinitely must be seconded, and it can be debated, but it can't be amended. At least a majority of the members must vote in favor for the motion to pass, in which case no further discussion of the main item is in order. Probably the simplest of the subsidiary motions is the motion to commit the main motion, or refer it to a committee. This motion requires a second. It is debatable and can be amended. It is treated in much the same way as a main motion or an amendment. Sometimes the members may feel that they are simply not ready to discuss the pending motion, or they realize in the middle of debate that they would like more time to consider the matter. In such cases, a motion to postpone to a definite time would be appropriate. The motion should specify when the question is to be brought back up, and if it is to be postponed to a later meeting, whether it is to be taken up in the ordinary course of business or should be treated as a special order. A motion to postpone consideration to a definite time requires a second, and it is debatable and amendable. If the motion specifies that the question is to be made a special order, a 2/3 vote is required. Otherwise, a simple majority is needed to pass the motion. Laying a motion on the table is often misused when the proper motion is to postpone indefinitely. The purpose of tabling the present business is to allow the group to set it aside temporarily because something more urgent requires immediate attention. For example, suppose you're in the middle of a debate on a motion when the guest speaker for the meeting arrives. Someone could move to lay the motion on the table so that the guest speaker can be heard immediately. Then after the speaker is done, the pending motion can be taken up from the table, and the debate continues as if there were no interruption. A motion to table must be seconded, but it is not debatable, can't be amended, and requires only a majority vote. Remember, though, when a main motion has been tabled, it should be taken up again, or taken from the table, as soon as the reason for tabling it has passed. This is done simply by a motion to take up whatever it was from the table. This motion also requires a second, can't be or amended, and requires a majority for the passage.
Now things really are getting complicated.
Oh yes, as I said before, the rules can become very complicated. But you don't have to memorize all of them. Just keep a copy of the rules handy, and if things get sticky and you're not sure how to stop, find the proper rule and then continue. Don't let yourself get bulldozed into confusion. It only takes a few minutes to look up the situation in the index. And there's even a handy chart in the book that lists the different kinds of motions you need, what they do and how they're handled. You don't have to know all of the rules if you know where to find them when you need them.
Why? Have the rules changed since you first wrote them?
Yes, of course. Parliamentary procedure changes constantly as people find themselves in new and unusual situations. More importantly, constant effort is made to make the rules clearer and easier to use. This edition, as a matter of fact, was edited by my grandson with help from my great-grandson.
Wow, General Robert. How can I ever thank you?
Well, for starters, let's see you run this meeting again, this time by the rules.
Okay, I'll try.